Hello everyone, welcome to the Interviewer channel. So, you've landed an interview for an IT auditor position? Congratulations. Now, let's get you prepared to ace it. I'm going to walk you through the top 10 most common questions you're likely to face, so you can walk into that room with confidence. First up, a classic opener. Tell me about your experience as an IT auditor. This is your chance to shine. Don't just list your previous jobs. Instead, craft a compelling story. Talk about a specific project where you identified a critical risk, how you assessed the controls, and the positive impact your recommendations had on the organization. Frame your experience around the value you bring. Next, expect a question about your technical skills like, what IT audit frameworks are you familiar with? Be ready to discuss frameworks like COBIT, ITIL, or the NIST Cybersecurity framework. It's not enough to just name them. Pick one or two you know well and explain how you've applied them in a real-world audit to evaluate IT processes and controls. Now for a behavioral question. Describe a time you had to communicate a complex technical finding to a non-technical audience. This is huge in auditing. Your interviewer wants to know if you can translate jargon into business impact. Think of a time you found a complicated vulnerability. How did you explain the risk to management without getting lost in technical details? Focus on clarity, business context, and your ability to persuade. They'll also want to test your core audit knowledge with, what are the main stages of an IT audit? Walk them through the process logically. Planning, fieldwork, reporting, and follow-up. For each stage, briefly mention the key activities, like risk assessment during planning, evidence gathering during fieldwork, and drafting recommendations during reporting. This shows you have a structured approach. Here's one that tests your problem-solving skills. How would you audit a cloud environment like AWS or Azure? This is a hot topic. Talk about focusing on areas like identity and access management, data encryption, configuration management, and the shared responsibility model. Mentioning specific services or tools you'd use to assess these areas will show you're up to date with current technology. Prepare for a question about staying current. How do you keep up with the latest cybersecurity threats and IT trends? This shows your passion and proactivity. Mention specific resources you follow, like security blogs, industry publications, webinars, or professional organizations like ISACA. Maybe you're even studying for a new certification. Show them you're committed to continuous learning. Here comes another situational question. Tell me about a time you faced resistance from an auditee. How did you handle it? Auditing isn't always a walk in the park. The interviewer wants to see your interpersonal skills. Describe a situation where someone was defensive or uncooperative. Explain how you listened to their concerns, built rapport, and focused on the common goal of improving the control environment rather than just pointing out flaws. They'll also want to understand your thought process with, what is the difference between a general IT control and an application control? This is fundamental. Explain that IT general controls, or ITGCs, are the foundation. They apply to the overall IT environment, like access controls and change management. Application controls are specific to a particular software, like ensuring data entered into a payroll system is accurate. Use a simple analogy to make it clear. Next, a question about risk. How do you perform an IT risk assessment? This is at the heart of auditing. Describe your process, identifying assets, identifying threats and vulnerabilities, assessing the likelihood and impact of a risk materializing, and then prioritizing those risks. This demonstrates your analytical and strategic thinking. Finally, they will almost always ask, do you have any questions for us? Never say no. This is your chance to show you're genuinely interested. Ask insightful questions about the team structure, the biggest challenges the audit department is facing, or what a typical day looks like. It shows you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for the right fit. And that's a wrap on the top 10 IT Auditor interview questions. Prepare your answers, practice them, and you'll be ready to make a great impression. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more career tips. Good luck with your interview,